This is a picture released by North Korea's state-run news agency on Monday, showing what appears to be the transporter erector launcher vehicles for the Hwasong-11 close-range ballistic missiles. This is a type of tactical missile that the regime has been testing since April 2022, that's known to fly around 110 kilometers. During a ceremony held in Pyongyang, the state media reported that its leader Kim Jong-un announced that some 250 of these new tactical ballistic missile launchers have been handed to frontline units.
Yemen's Houthi rebels released footage that they claim shows the wreckage of an American drone they downed. Since Yemen's civil war started in 2014, when the Houthis seized most of the country's north and its capital, the US has lost multiple drones to the rebels. MQ-9 drones, known as Reapers, are unmanned aerial vehicles which can be remotely controlled and cost around $30 million apiece.
U.S. warships and fighter jets are on their way to the Middle East to deter an all-out war and in, quote, defense of Israel. The show of military might comes amid rapidly soaring tensions in the region following the assassination of top Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh in Tehran last week, and a rocket strike on Israel's Golan Heights area that killed a dozen children on a soccer field days before. Israel blamed the Lebanese militant group Hezbollah for the attack and struck what it said were Hezbollah targets in Lebanon. A Hezbollah commander was killed. Both Hamas and Hezbollah are backed by Iran.
The Ukrainian military is certainly this weekend saying on social media that it has indeed attacked and subsequently sunk the Rostov-na-Don attack submarine in the port of Sevastopol, which of course is in Russian-occupied Crimea. Now, this submarine was actually in port following repairs after she was hit by a Ukrainian missile last year. But this time, Ukrainians are saying that they have finished the job off, saying that she is now, quote, at the bottom of the Black Sea.
In Bangladesh, the army chief says the prime minister has resigned. That comes as anti-government protesters were gearing up for a march on the capital, Dhaka, this Monday. They're now reportedly storming the presidential palace. This also comes one day after the deadliest day of unrest since those demonstrations first broke out last month. On Sunday, hundreds of thousands of protesters and government supporters across the country fought each other with sticks and knives as security forces opened fire with rifles. Nearly 100 people were killed.
An Israeli woman in her late 60s and a man in his 70s were killed in a stabbing spree on Sunday morning in the central Israeli city just south of Tel Aviv.
The police quickly arrived to the scene as the terrorist was attacking the civilians who were here behind me. As you can see, enjoying the morning in the park, the terrorist managed to get to the main road where the police officers engaged him with gunfire, and his death was declared at the scene.
According to Magen David Adom, there were 3 separate attacks around 500 meters apart from each other. An elderly couple was stabbed at the entrance to a park. The husband taken to hospital in serious condition, whilst the wife was pronounced dead at the scene.
Police in Somalia said Saturday that 32 people died and 63 others wounded in an attack on a beach hotel in the capital Mogadishu on Friday night. Al-Shabab said through its radio that its fighters carried out the attack. It involved a suicide bomber who set off a vest and shooting. The Lido Beach area has in the past been targeted by militants allied to al-Shabab. The most recent attack last year killed 9 people. The attack comes as African Union peacekeepers begin to withdraw from the country.
Rotherham, Yorkshire. The latest flashpoint in the UK's civil chaos. An angry mob pelt police with whatever comes to hand. The officers are attempting to prevent them getting into a hotel housing asylum seekers. The riot squad forced to fall back and the masked men gain access. At one point, the incensed crowd attempts to set fire to the building with people trapped inside. This, another front of a growing battleground. In cities and towns throughout the country, far-right groups and supporters are gathering, clashing with police and targeting businesses of migrants.